Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're jumping into the world of Solana, taking a look at the price action of SOL token and where I think things are likely to go next. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into today's video though, kicking things off with the 1 hour time frame. So here we have Solana paired up with USDT. We're using the BitGet spot exchange here on the 1 hour time frame. If you haven't yet signed up to BitGet, don't sleep on that one. I think it's a fantastic exchange. I use it for 100% of my leverage positions and 90 to 95% of my spot positions. It's a fantastic platform that's so easy and self-intuitive to use. If you haven't checked it out yet, why not check it out? The affiliate link is in the description below. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on here for Solana then. So we have this very much overlapping structured move to the upside, right? And I say structured, it's not really structured in the way that you have a good clear pattern or anything like that, but very much a choppy structured move. Basically, this means that it's short term and short lived. Okay, so if we go ahead and just draw some trend lines in to just kind of show you what I mean. So if we go ahead and connect some of the lows and some of these highs, you can see, let me just actually go ahead and pull this in. We had higher highs and higher lows. And of course, we broke that trend line. Now, this trend line to the upside here on the lower side had multiple touch points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touch points, and we lost it. Okay, so we know that was a really strong area, was finding good support, and at the same time as losing this, we also lost the 50 EMA, and then we briefly broke below the 200 hourly EMA. Currently, we're riding up a little ways here, back towards maybe that resistance of that trend line now, but we are up in the overbought range, so it's looking like it's running out of momentum. Looking for a move to the downside shortly. Now, if we take a look at this, we failed to breach this high up here at 1948.3, and we have a low that's also down here. This one coming in at 18.594. Now, I will note that there's a couple of fair value gaps on here. These fair value gaps are created from imbalances in the order books, but essentially large orders are coming in, dragging the price higher. You can only have large orders if there's enough liquidity to fill those orders, as in there's buyer on one hand and there's sellers on the other, right? And if you've only got buyers, then obviously the price has to move to where the sellers are, because someone has to sell the Bitcoin to the buyers, right? Or sell the Solana to the buyers. And so what you've got here is imbalances in those order books, right? Price had to move up in order to find SOL tokens that are for sale. And so there's a couple of fair value gaps here, essentially showing you and depicting to you a liquidity issue on Solana. Now, these have a tendency to get filled out. As you can see, there have been multiple in the past and they all got grabbed. And there's a couple even most recently that have also happened to get filled. So where we are right now, we have basically a ranging market between 1859.4 and 19.48.3. Sorry, $19.48.3 and $18.59.4. Okay, so we're basically ranging here. Now, I talk about these because we're looking for either a break above or a break below, and then we can go in the opposite direction from a trading point of view. Ultimately, looking at this, it looks like we are probably going to see ourselves with a break upwards. And I say this lightly. I think we could probably move down, find support on the 50 and 200 EMAs, which are just below the current price action, right? Just drop down a little bit. Let me show you, right? So we have some kind of drop like this, just coming down a little ways into the fair value gap, but not fill it, and then rally on up, because it does look like we have the potential to do something like this. I don't think we're going to touch the trend line though. Could be wrong, but we'll probably move up and break up above the existing swing high, and then from here we can break on down. Now, ultimately, as I said, there isn't a lot of structure to what is going on in here, but we can note a couple of things. We have here a high, here's a low, and here's a high. Okay, so we already have a three-wave pattern here. We then have a three-wave pattern breaking down from here, which is A, B, and C just there, with an ABC structure in the B wave as well, and ending in 5. So not too bad, flat correction. And then we have this move. Okay, so here we have the existing move up. We had the break coming down, failed to break the low, and then we come up. Okay, so it looks like we're in this kind of structured move. Okay, so it doesn't have a huge amount of structure to it. It's a string of corrections, but ultimately it looks like like we are heading up a little ways further here before we break on down and fill those fair value gaps out. Let's take it up into the daily time frame. So from a daily time frame, things are not looking overly that bad, but they could be better. Okay, so again, we end up in the situation where we have this interesting move upwards. We are in a bullish structure at the moment, right inside here. Okay, but we are below the 50 daily and the 200 daily EMAs. And so we need to be a little bit cautious with that. Now, essentially here, this breakdown that we see is very, very interesting to me because we might have a relief rally up towards that 50 EMA, as I was just talking about, but we are up in an overbought area on our daily stochastic. So we are looking for further downside on our daily time frame. There's a fair value gap a little ways lower here, okay, and we can note that within this pattern right here. We can see it's between 16.64 and 17.04. Okay, so this is an area that I think we're likely to kind of head down towards, and this also happens to be an area of resistance and support just below there. Okay, so let's take a look. What do we have going on? Well, we can see here the idea of a potential 5-wave structured move to the downside, but I don't think it is a impulsive 5-wave structure, but let's go ahead and check. I suspect it is not. And no, it's not. So this here is essentially corrective coming down, and then we move up, and then we have another corrective move coming down here as well. Now, if we were to try to measure this pattern right in here, it might help us anchor in exactly where this is likely to head to next. And yeah, it puts us right down into this little range. And so we have here again another WXYXZ pattern taking us down. So I suspect that we are going to be heading right into this fair value gap and potentially down to 1576.7. So let me go ahead and grab hold of that. So I can get this as close as I can to it. It's going to be a little bit difficult. There we go. Can I knock it up one? There we go. 67. That one there. There we go. And so that's going to be the range right inside this little gap here. So in fact, I'm going to just lower that onto the 1-to-1 and then delete that. There we go. So we're essentially looking at 16.767 and 16.820. Okay, that's realistically where we are potentially likely to see this head. Okay, so for the most part, looking quite interesting and quite good. To say that the bear market low is probably in on Solana, unless there's a huge amount of selling pressure from the FTX liquidations, and whether or not there's going to be demand to soak some of that up. If there isn't demand to soak it up, then we might see this come down deeper. But for now, that's realistically where we are likely to head on that one. Now, when we take this up into the weekly time frame, and if we have got a bottom in the market here, then things are looking very nice for some pretty good successful stories in the next bullish market. So when we take a look at this, we've got some very aggressive price action to be expected here. Now, when we take a look at this, right, we can see that we had a very good run, 25,000% in the previous bull market. Then we have this correction to the downside and a potential move back to the upside. Now, this would be a 3-wave pattern on a weekly time frame, and there's obviously this could go up towards the $2,000 level. Now, that kind of price action would be very, very crazy. So we want to be a little bit conservative. Our minimum expectations will be double top. Okay, double top here at $259. Okay, now when we start taking a look at some of these resistances, where else do we see? Well, we can see that the 618 happens to fall in line with basically a double top situation, and we got a 786 also just up here as well. So I think it's probably nice to be realistic and say that price action is more than likely going to be between $242 and $617, but we can note that there is a potential move upwards towards that $2,000 level. So it's going to be interesting to see where this one potentially does go in the future. Let me know what your thoughts are on Solana. Do you think it's got a bright future ahead of it, or do you think these is just pure hopium here, where we're talking about $242 to $615. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think I'm going to wrap this video up right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description below. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.